What up, guys? This is Alex Saran, CEO of The Viral Roofer, teaching you how to build a door knocking army. Now, a little bit about myself. I am the CEO of a recruiting agency, and we specifically work with roofing companies or any door to door team that's looking for canvassers or just top closers. A little bit about our company, quick case study. We grew Affordable Home Solution roofing company in the Maryland, Virginia area. We grew them from 16 to now 70 uh, sales reps in only a matter of a few months, literally probably about 3 months. So very excited to start this video. Hopefully you guys learned something, and let's begin. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to conduct a proper group call. I've done hundreds, if not thousands of group calls. And it's funny because in the beginning, I really didn't know what to talk about. I didn't really know like what to talk about, how to run one, what to say, how to say it. It was just overall a shit show for real. And so through experience, through time, and through overall just talking to other recruiters, other canvassers, just getting feedback from people on the calls, I kind of came up with a structure that helped me present the company, present the opportunity, and get people excited to join. So let's start it and let's kind of break this down here. And this particular structure I learned from JP. JP is one of the top recruiters in the nation. He works very closely with Sam Taggart and me. He kind of broke this down a little bit and framed this up, and it's helped a lot. It's helped a lot. So he helped me. So now I'm going to help you guys. The structure that we use is company. Write this down, guys. Product, industry, market, sales, compensation, and why work for us. Now, with that being said, there are some things we work specifically with the roofing industry. So there are some things here that I can fill out for you, but a lot of the stuff guys are going to have to fill out yourself. Product is usually roofing. We work roofing with insurance or through insurance, but that works just fine. The industry is the insurance industry. The market is the area. Sales is door to door. Compensation, training, why work for us. So I'm going to go by each little step and explain how we usually pitch it. And then from there, you guys can take it and do it for your own company and just kind of plug and play. So hopefully this helps. This is pretty cool. Cool. So first things first, the main thing that we introduce is usually the company, right? The reason why we say that is because from the jump, we want to stand out and overall, maybe this is not the right phrasing, but we want to assert our dominance from the jump. Like, hey, listen, I'm just giving you an example. Hey, listen, thank you for coming to this call. Let me kind of break this down, what this opportunity is for you guys. As far as the company goes, I'm just throwing a number out there, right? We are $100 million company, roofing company in the Dallas, Texas region, right? So we've been in business for about 8 years. Like, you go into the history of the company, and the whole purpose of this, guys, is to educate them, to let them know that, listen, fact of the matter is, door-to-door companies or companies that use door-to-door, they get a bad rap. People think it's not a real job. People think it's not a real opportunity. If they're a young kid, they're probably gonna have to argue with their parents about this job. Probably gonna have to argue with their girlfriend. Oh, get a real job. Like, no, like, so you got to make sure that you assert right away that, hey, this is not only an established company, this is a company that's been in business for a long time. We have great reviews, and you get into like the nitty gritty, like, for example, one of the companies that I worked for in Orlando, Florida, they had 600 Google reviews, mostly positive. There was like a 4.9 rating overall, and they had super great Better Business Bureau reviews. So I would always use that in my pitch, just because, like, again, asserting to the people on the call is like, hey man, we are pretty good at what we do. So you have to throw that in there in the beginning. Just talk about the company, how long you guys been in business. If the CEO is on the call, you have to tell them, hey, this is the CEO. Go into a little bit about his story. Talk about, what maybe your core values are. If you have core values, if you don't have core values, you need to come up with core values. I don't care if you just hop on Google and type in, hey, give me a list of some awesome core values, whatever the fuck, just fucking use them, right? And the reason why you have to use them is because it's going to set a standard with who's ever on the call on what exactly this company represents and what's expected of them. So you have to talk about your core values if you don't have any, and just get into the company period, right? So that's boom, that's company. Product, this is pretty fun. Product, when I talk about product, I talk about roofs, obviously, but I always talk about, again, we work with a lot of companies that go to the insurance. We talk about why people we talk about pretty much the process of people going through the insurance to replace their roofs. You know, for example, like with me, I'm like, hey man, so just so you guys understand, like we sell roofs, we sell roofing, and houses usually a little bit older than 10 years usually need a new roof. At the end of the day, guys, like roofing is something that you don't necessarily want, but you definitely need. So whether someone has the money or they don't have the money, if there's a leak on the roof, they have to get a new roof, which is why we specifically work with insurance companies, because all these homeowners have insurance. Insurance is mandatory for a home, and when it's time for a new roof, that's when insurance comes into play, and it allows them to get a roof for pennies on the dollar, right? So for example, the average roof goes from anywhere between $20,000 to $25,000. So imagine getting a new roof for your deductible. Deductible could be anywhere between 500 to 1,500 depending on the area. So getting a brand new roof, a $20,000 roof for 500 bucks, it's almost a no-brainer offer. And it overall makes the sell that much easier. So that's kind of how I break down the roof, right? Now, whether you sell solar, whether you sell pest control or windows, whatever, you have to fit in what the product is they're going to sell, and you have to talk about why you guys sell that product, why this product is a necessity, why you guys sell it, and how you guys sell it. Educate them on that. Like that's usually about like a 10-minute, usually like about 10-minute process right there. So hopefully that helps. And then as far as industry goes, you know, again, we work with the insurance industry, so that's usually how we frame everything. But whatever industry that you guys work with, you just have to educate them on overall the bigger picture on what this exactly is. Again, these people are gonna get off this call, go home if they're not already home, and they're gonna argue with their parents on why they should work here. So you have to ingrain it in their brain that, hey man, this is not just a little rinky-dink company. This is the real deal, which is why we like to highlight that we work the insurance industry, and we like to definitely throw out numbers. So I suggest to you guys, hop on Google. If you don't really know your industry, hop on Google, learn about your industry, and use that in your pitch. So with us, for example, we're like, hey man, every year, the insurance industry is $1 billion, if not $1 trillion industry. And every year they pay X amount of dollars for homeowners to get a brand new roof. So we're not just dealing with us, the roofing company. You're dealing with the mammoth of the insurance industry. That's whether the economy is good or bad, the insurance industry is going to be there. So you could even say that this is a recession-proof business, right? So that's kind of how I position it. Like, hey man, we are a big company that works with bigger companies that have no that have no it doesn't matter whether like I just said, it doesn't matter whether the globe the country's economy is up or down, because this is one of those industries where it's going to be around regardless, because people need insurance, right? Like homeowners need insurance. People who own cars need car insurance. Like this isn't one of those, again, this isn't one of those like, hey, if I feel like it. No, it's like, no, this is like the real deal and you need it. So go get it. So that's how we position that right now. As far as market goes, market specifically is your area, right? So whether you're in Florida, you gotta kind of highlight how, like, hey man, in Florida there's a bunch of hurricanes, so people are always gonna need new roofs because there's always damage here, right? If you're in, somewhere in the tri-state, you could definitely talk about the hailstorms, the rainstorms, the windstorms, whatever mainly affects your market. Bring that in, because here is when you're going to educate them on, like, hey, this is why we even exist, because of these forces, these situations, these conditions that affect houses. This is where we come into play. Again, you got to paint them the big picture, guys. You can't just sell them on just sales, because that's not going to do the job. You got to say, hey, This is our company. This is under this umbrella is what we work with. This is why this exists because of this problem right here. So we solve this problem, and how we solve this problem is by this method of selling them this product. Like that's kind of how you got to structure everything, just so that they understand and they're able to. And you got to keep it simple enough to where they can pitch it to their family. Because again, as soon as they get off the call, they're going to be arguing with their mom, their dad, their girlfriend, their friends. Like, trust me, everyone's going to be telling them, hey, this is a scam. This is a whatever, a Ponzi scheme, whatever, whatever, whatever. And it's like, no, bro, like, this is a real company, real structure, real industry. It's been around for years. This is how it works. And once you explain that to them and they get it, and then they can explain that to whoever it is that, who's going to debate them later, you're not only going to sell them on the job, you're going to sell the people around them on the job. And it's going to make that transition way, way easier. And who knows, maybe you might get a referral and they might bring another canvasser along. So, okay, now sales. This is my favorite part. In sales, we talk about, the whole purpose of door to door, right? And this is kind of where you have to sandwich in the door to door aspect. And this is literally what I tell people. I'm like, hey, man, yes, we do marketing. Yes, we do run ads. We have Google ads. We have a lot of plethora of things that we do to bring leads in. But this is the fact of the matter, right? Like, this is what happens. You'll run a Facebook ad and someone will call you, or they'll respond to the ad. You call them, you get on the phone, and you're like, hey, man, you need a new roof. And what will happen is people automatically will become skeptical because they know you're trying to sell them. And they'll be like, how do you even know you're not even nowhere near my house? You don't even know what my roof looks like. You don't even know what I look like. So how the hell are you going to tell me to get a new $30,000 roof? Yeah, the insurance pays for it and I get it. But like, how do I know this is even a real thing? And boom, right there, they have the option to hang up on you, or they have the option to just disregard or dismiss anything you're telling them. And it makes your job, and this is how I position it, it makes your job as a sales rep that much more difficult. You know what's an easier way to pitch that roof? Is you going to these neighborhoods, seeing the houses with the damage, knocking on these houses, telling people, hey man, you have damage on your roof, or you may have damage on your roof. And they say, oh yeah, really? How do you know? And you could immediately right then and there say, because I can see it. Come outside if you want. Just take a look. Look it right here. Look it right there. And that's how you get people to buy. And therefore, that makes your job that much easier. And that's exactly how I pitch it to people on the call. And when I break it down logically and I tell them that, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. And therefore, it makes them that much more open to door canvassing. And that's how you need to sell it. If you just tell people like, hey man, door to door, because right away, as soon as you say door to door, their brain automatically just shuts off. But if you tell them like, hey, look, bro, we do all this type of stuff, but you know what works best? Door to door works best. It makes your job that much easier. It helps you close that much better. They're going to be way more open to door, because now they're not thinking about the door aspect. They're thinking about the sales, the closings. Those deals are going to land. And that's what you got to do. You got to get people to stop thinking about, for example, let me give you an analogy. If you're a fitness trainer, are you going to pitch people on like, hey man, you're going to have to do 1,000 push-ups. You're going to have to run 20 miles and only eat water and air for about 2 months. No, you're not going to pitch people on that. Why? Because automatically people are going to get turned off. You have to pitch people on the transformation, on the result. Hey man, you want abs? You want to be fit? Listen, you can do all these things, but this is how we can get you there the fastest. You're going to have to run these 20 miles. You're going to have to do these push-ups. You're going to have to limit what you eat. Listen, I know it's going to suck, but at the end of the day, if you want this result and you want to get there quickly, that's the only way. So what you're doing is you're taking their brain off of the hard thing or the uncomfortable thing, and you're taking their brain and their thoughts and you're positioning it on the result, the end game. And that's what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, let's call it what it is. Door to door is not sexy. Door to door is not fun. But you have to let people know this is only a means to an end. So that's usually how I position door to door. Okay, after that is compensation. Compensation is usually pay. I can't really get into that just because that's a whole nother, it's probably gonna be a whole nother video breaking down like exactly what you should pay. There's many different ways you can pay that I've seen that work for people. But again, that's like a whole probably another 10-20 minute video. So whatever works for you, that's what you break down how pay works. Training. This is why I recommend every single roofing company out there. You need to have training for your sales reps. If you don't, you will struggle on attracting canvassers, because what's going to happen if you don't have training, you're going to just get people with experience, and which is fine, which is fine, but you want people to grow within your company. If you just attract guys with experience, they're probably going to leave for a better opportunity, which is not what you want. You want loyalty. In order for you to have loyalty in your company, you have to have progression and growth. That's what's going to make people stay with you, right? So I recommend you get training. And when I say training, I don't mean just a damn YouTube video. I mean like actual training, like stop being lazy, train your reps. And overall, that's where you kind of position what the training looks like. And the last but not least, why work for us? This is where you play to your strengths. So it can be anything between, great reputation, great customer service, culture, anything but money. Don't, hey man, if for example, right, one of my clients, it was a full service company. They did roofing, water mitigation, HVAC, solar, restoration. So with them, we didn't talk about money, but we definitely talked about the opportunity to make more money within the company, which in reality is just growth. That's what we talked about. Hey man, I'm sure you work, because with that company, all we would target is like closers, experienced guys. We wouldn't target any canvassers. And that was my pitch to the guys. I'm like, hey man, listen, you're working for a roofing company, you're doing great, you're killing it. But imagine if you can go to the same homeowner over and over again and just keep upselling them on AC, solar, water mitigation, this, that, the third, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I would say that, their eyes will light up, because now what are they really seeing? Yeah, they're seeing money, but they're seeing more money with less work. Because once you have a customer, that's your customer, like, right? So they would just start seeing more money, less work, and they're like, damn, yeah, I could get in there and crush it. So again, like, don't talk about money, but if you are going to talk about money, you have to position it in a way where it's opportunity for growth. Because if you just say money, you're just going to get people who are money hungry, and you get people that are money hungry, they're not loyal, and they're going to leave the first chance they get. So yeah, man. So hopefully you got some value from this video. If you guys have any questions, or like you need a little bit more clarification, feel free to just to comment below. Let us know what you need a little bit more elaboration on, and I'll make a video about that specifically. Maybe I could make a specific video for each of these. So like, for example, I'll make a video on just like how to pitch the company. I'll make a video on how to pitch the product, make it, just like individually. Let me make that a different color. I don't like that color. Let me make it yellow. Yeah, so I can make a video on these individually, and yeah, maybe, I don't know. Just let me know if you guys want it. But I think I did a pretty good job. But again, I'm new to this like YouTube thing, so let me know if I suck. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is Alexis Saran, CEO of The Viral Roofer. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment, please. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the video. That way you can overall help me make a better YouTuber, and I can help you guys become better recruiters for your company. Yeah, see you on the next one. Catch you on the flippity flip. All right, guys, bye.